Good morning, students. Welcome back. Now we are going to start part 3 of topic 1. In this part, I am going to discuss the functional relations and tools for economic analysis. What are the functional relations and tools for economic analysis? Because these are various things, various parts that we are going to use very often in this. So to understand about the first point, that is variable. So what is variable? A variable is something whose magnitude can change or take on different values. Variables frequently used in business economics, they are price, profit, revenue, cost, investment, etc. Since each variable can have different values, it is represented by a symbol. For example, price may be represented by P, cost by C, and so on. Variables can endogenous or exogenous. An endogenous variable is a variable that is explained within the theory, and exogenous variable is determined by factors outside the theory. Economic theories and models are constructed to explain economic activities. An economic model is simplified representation of real world phenomena. For example, the law of demand. We are using it to understand the relationship between price and quantity demanded. Right? So, in the real world, it is extremely complex and it is always changing. So it is necessary to build a model with some restrictions and assumptions to understand the relationship between different variables that matters. This is what about the variables you can write. Next, functions. A function shows the relationship between two or more variables. It indicates how the value of one variable depends on the value of more or other variables. It also shows how the value of one variable can be found by specifying the value of other variable. For example, economics generally link the volume of consumption by the households to the receipts of disposable income. Such behavior is specified by saying that consumption is a function of disposable income. This functional relationship between consumption and disposable income can be expressed like C is equal to function of Y, right? So this is what you have to understand about the functions. Next, equation. An equation specifies the relationship between dependent and independent variable. For example, the functional relationship between price and quantity demanded can take different forms. The specific relationship between two or more variables is specified in the form of equation. For example, Q is equal to function of P, like quantity demanded is a function of, it is depending upon the price. So in this way, the equations specify the functional relationship between dependent and independent variables, and each equation is a concise statement of a particular relation. Next, economic data and tools. Economists make use of evidence to test the relevance of the specific prediction of theories and models. They also try to explain, analyze, and predict observed real world economic behavior of the people. To analyze economic issues and the relationship between variables, economists use data. Relevant, quantifiable data is absolutely essential for making business decisions. This is what you have to understand about these variables. Then next, graphs. Graphs are geometrical tools used to express the functional relationship between variables. Graphs are essential in economics because they allow us to analyze economic concepts and examine the historical data. Business economics makes extensive use of graphs to analyze the economic relation. Next, curves. The functional relationship between the variables specified in the forms of equations can be shown by drawing lines in the graph. The line depicts the relationship between the variable. Next, slopes. One of the important way to describe the relationship between two variables is used by the slope of a line. Slopes show us how fast or at what rate the dependent variable is changing in response to the change in the independent variable. The slope is defined as the amount of change in the dependent variable measured usually on the vertical axis, that is y-axis, per unit change in the independent variable measured usually on the horizontal, that is x-axis. Therefore, the slope is equal to delta y divided by delta x, whereby y is the dependent variable, x is the independent variable, and delta stands for the change. The curves can be straight line, or the curves can be they can have a different types of shapes also. It is upward sloping, downward sloping, horizontal, vertical. Any type of slope is that it has. So this is what you have to understand about the various concepts of economics. These are the functional relations and tools for economic analysis. This is just a basic to understand about the business economics. This entire topic, the basic concepts are given in this topic. Students, here the first topic is over. Thank you very much.